Hey, what's up, y'all? This is the Mother's House Podcast, and I am Deshaun.
Hey, my loves, this is Corey.
You stupid.
Peace to the family. What's going on? You know, happy born day to my mother and my uncle. Today is my mother's birthday and our uncle's birthday.
Oh, happy birthday, Aunt Brenda, Uncle Peter.
Yeah. Got to start off with the family first.
Right. Right.
But let's get right into it. So, Monique is on, continuing with her boycott tour.
Right.
And she touched down at the Breakfast Club, and they did an interview with her. Got a lot of people looking at the thing different kind of ways. So we're gonna touch on that. So, cuz I'm gonna let you go ahead and hold the court. Go ahead and start us off with your thoughts and opinions.
Okay.
And we just build from the conversation.
Okay. I've seen Monique interview and talk about the same thing, so I kind of already had an opinion on it. As far as the Breakfast Club interview, I felt like, even when I first heard about Charlamagne giving her Donkey of the Day, I just thought it was wrong. Because my thing is, even if you disagree with what she's saying, I feel like the platform, what she's using, as far as like pay disparity for black women, even if you don't agree with what she is saying per se, I just think it was kind of fucked up to give her Donkey of the Day as a black man. You giving a black woman Donkey of the Day over pay disparity.
Exactly. You didn't do the same when Amy Schumer was talking about pay disparities. You fully getting paid as much as I could be wrong. He probably did get Amy Schumer Donkey of the Day for that, but I don't believe he did. He didn't give that same energy to Amy Schumer. When you were crying about her funky, I don't even know how much she got, but you remember what you were talking about? Why I'm not getting paid? It's like Dave Chappelle and Chris Rock. Right.
Amy Schumer, they offered her 11. She went back and got 13 million. But right. But my thing, even if he did do the same with Amy Schumer, it's like, it's a black woman, and as a black man, I just feel like, even if you don't agree with what she has to say, just say your little piece and like let it be. Don't get in the way of what she's trying to do.
Don't get in the way of the conversation.
Right.
The conversation is centered around black women not being paid equally in entertainment.
Right.
Period. Then that transcends down to the pay gap between black men and black women from racial bias, and black women from white women through the gender bias, and all down. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
It's a larger conversation. This conversation that we having about Monique and what Netflix is low on her is bigger than, it's bigger than actually Monique. It's actually bigger than that. You know what I mean? This conversation,
No, I just said right.
Well, granted, a lot of people say she could go start do her own thing. How is she supposed to do that if she blackballed?
Right.
That's what I'm trying to figure out. Like, how the hell is she supposed to use all her money, put all her eggs in one basket to start her own thing, and she's being blackballed? She ain't getting no damn money. Ain't that the issue?
Yeah, and I think another thing is you don't know what else they are doing.
Exactly.
And just because, they can do XYZ or should do XYZ, that doesn't mean they shouldn't expose Netflix for what they're doing.
I agree. I think, this is the thing. You got people like Charlamagne the God, progenitors of the culture. Some people police them there. You know what I'm saying? You got Oprah Winfrey, Lee Daniels, and what that dude name?
Tyler Perry.
Tyler Perry and
Will Packer.
You got these people, these gatekeepers. You know what I'm saying? These are the gatekeepers for black entertainment.
Right.
It could be arguably so. These are the gatekeepers for the black entertainment. Now, you can get around them and all this thing. Now, mind you, Monique her star started from not Comedy View, but a Def Comedy Jam, wasn't it? Was she on Def Comedy Jam?
I'm not sure.
But anyway, these people are the representatives of the culture, right? And they have strong opinions. Their opinions travel.
Right.
Their opinion and sway people's perception of a particular person. If they don't like a person, if they don't feel a person, or they feel like this person mistreating them, it will sway people's judgment on this particular artist or particular person or particular actress and comedian, everything else. And on top of that, you know, when they lowball her, I can't say that it's not right. You know what I'm saying? And granted, y'all say, oh yeah, that's not right. But you got to look at it as a business standpoint. When do we, as a people, have the right to speak out about pay inequality? When we've got the right to ask for a raise? You know what I'm saying? When do we look at our legends and say, you're not worth this much money? You're worth this much money because you ain't doing nothing for me right now. Like, that's a weak and lazy argument. You know what I mean? When I watched the interview, he gave her the dunk of the day. When he gave her the dunk of the day, I was like, okay, man, now, one, there's a lot of dumb shit be going on out here. That's not a dumb thing for her to speak out about, you know, hey, I'm not getting paid fairly. They holding me to $500,000. On top of that, you know, I can't do nothing else for the next 2 years. That's going to affect my money, and that's all I'm going to get for 2 years, $500,000, where I can make 10 times more or 2 times more than that. You know what I'm saying? Like, no. Like,
after hearing that, I almost felt like she probably should get $10 million. Like, because if you think, I think they said that she could make like $2 million just doing comedy tours in a year, and $500,000. That means you should, for 2 years, you should at least pay her $5 million just to make up for those 2 years that she wouldn't be able to work because of the contract.
Right. I agree. I mean, this whole situation is it's becoming into a place of conjecture conversation when you're not Monique, or if you're not, you know, the parties that's involved. You know what I'm saying? Everybody got speculation. Nobody have a full background or the full story except for Monique and the people she dealt with. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
But when she come on the platform, they call you her story and what the hell going on with her, and you be like, nah, that don't make sense. That's wrong.
Right.
No, you don't deserve that much. But look at this person. Look at that person. I'm talking about me.
Right.
Amy Schumer, I'm not talking about them. Yes, I'm bringing them up because I'm making an example out of them. The reason why I feel like I'm getting lowballed and blackballed.
Yeah, for reference.
Other than that, I'm talking about me. I'm not talking about them. I'm not saying they shouldn't get that money. I'm not saying why they got the money, I can't get the money. I'm basically saying they are blackballing me across all platforms when it comes to comedy. When it comes to my livelihood, when it comes to me trying to better up my family.
Right, like how you get in the way of somebody's money? Like, I just think sometimes people forget who they are. They forget that they're black and how we should unite and stay together. Even if you didn't even agree, be like, you know what? I don't even like Monique, and she should get $500,000. But you know what? I ain't gonna get in the way of her getting more money. If that's what she want, that's what she want. I'm just not gonna say nothing about it. But to then give her donkey of the day, and my thing with that award, I guess, it's like, even if you were to say something smart behind it that made sense, because I kind of could understand what he was saying. I didn't really agree with everything he was saying, but I got where he was coming from. But because you gave her donkey of the day, it erased all that, because you just called her a jackass, basically. So it kind of just...
You call her an ass.
Right. It voids everything that you had to say, because you just gave her a jackass award.
Basically. Yeah. So the reason why she came up there so angry and so not really, I don't even know, she was frustrated with you. You know what I'm saying? She was perturbed with you, and because you called her an ass on radio.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It wasn't like you just went on the radio and said, no, I think she's wrong because of X, Y, Z, that's what it is. You just gave your quick little opinion. real quick, and then that was it. No, you went on radio and said, I'm giving her the ass award because she's an ass for calling out Netflix. That's like, what the fuck is you doing?
Right.
You pushing for Netflix, who don't need your ass to push for them.
Right, they just kind of sitting back making money.
I've seen a lot of black people pushing for fucking Netflix who don't need your motherfucking ass to push for them.
Right, and it's like,
if they not out here talking, why the hell you talking for them?
Right, and I just feel like, you know, just stand back. And I don't understand. Another thing I don't understand is why people don't get her whole situation. It's like they're saying that, oh, she's just doing this for personal gain. She's making it all about her. Like, if you don't know by now, pay disparity is a huge thing, especially in Hollywood. Like, there are people getting 3 and 4 and 5. I mean, like, Viola Davis just came out and said it. She just said that she doesn't get paid correctly. She said, if they call me the black Meryl Streep, they should pay me like Meryl Streep. Like, it's not a new thing, but I think a lot of people just kind of don't really know fully what's going on. I think a lot of people just kind of read the headline and kind of just leave. They don't know about
a lot of broke folks put themselves in the headlines and be like, well, I'll get the fucking bag.
Right, they're not taking time.
Then I'll do this.
Right, they're not taking time to like understand stuff. Right,
you know what I mean?
They're not understanding, you know, where she's coming from. They're not understanding the whole situation. They don't understand the contract. They don't understand what $500,000 is, which really and truly ain't that much money. They don't understand a lot. It's like they look and see Monique mad at Netflix for not getting a $500,000 deal. It really was like more of a $250,000 deal if you think about it, because it was for 2 years.
I don't even think it's that much. I think it'd probably be even less than that. For 2 years, you can't do nothing, no comedy. You can't push through your comedy. You can't do no kind of comedic shows. It's basically, it's like a 360 deal. They try to book
right
per end.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? Like, what the fuck you mean? I got my. It's like, how can you buy somebody's contract? Put in the contract. Write up a contract that says you can't do shit for 2 years because now you work for us. You know what I'm saying? Instead of a partnership, y'all came to me for a partnership so we can make some money together.
Right. And then
you were telling me I'm one of your employees, and this is how much y'all gonna pay me for the next 2 years. So I'm getting $250,000 a year.
Right. And then they approached her.
Right.
And then for people to talk about, like, were y'all in the room where they were doing the negotiations? Like, for people to be, well, you should have did this, you should have negotiated, and you should have counter offered. Like, it's very undermining.
And this is where it gets
and demeaning.
It is. And I understand her frustration throughout that whole interview. I was like, I would be kind of frustrated and like, I'm done. I wouldn't even go on that far. I wouldn't even done, how long was the interview? Probably like 45, almost an hour.
Right.
It would have been done in 10 minutes. I'm like, y'all not listening to me. So what the hell? I'm telling y'all what the hell I'm saying.
Right.
And y'all saying something and every time I say something, y'all coming back with a counter. And you're coming back with a counter, but with no kind of real merit, because I'm telling you the facts. And then you be like, well, tell us what other offers you got. Like, why would I show you my fucking hand and you're not even believing what the fuck I'm saying anyway? That, and I feel like
they don't want to just talk about too much. They don't want to expose too much because when you start to talk about when you talk too much about numbers, that might mess up your next deal. Yes. So y'all may not need to know, you know, what I was looking for. Because if I tell you what I was looking for, the next people who come up behind me might say, okay, well, we're going to pay you XYZ instead of them paying you what you really worth. You know what I'm saying? We're going to offer you more. So don't worry about what I was looking for. Just know that they offered me this. There wasn't no kind of offer. They ended negotiations, and that was their last offer of that amount. That's all you need to know. You don't need to know all the inner workings of my contract or of the contract or the deal or the negotiations.
Now, to the point where she's calling for people to boycott Netflix, I know that was going to red flag because, like I said, we're not disciplined as a people to do any kind of boycott, to be quite honest. You know what I'm saying? And especially not a boycott against Netflix. And to rally the people to be like, yes, this is pay disparity. Like, the biggest thing you can do out of what she's doing is having a conversation and pushing the conversation forward.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But boycotting Netflix, I don't think that's going to happen. To challenge Netflix, people are not going to do that. And that's why, the reason why, because people are not angry enough. People are not frustrated enough. And one, it doesn't really affect them bottom line. It doesn't affect them personally bottom line. Right. You know what I mean? I will listen to one of the people who called in to come, talk about it. He was like saying, a lot of broke folks out here that don't get paid, who can't afford cable, use Netflix. That's like their form of entertainment. You know what I'm saying? It's cheaper than buying cable and all this and that, So to say boycott it, why would I boycott the only entertainment that I can get? One, we spend too much time on entertainment.
Right. You can boycott just for that.
We need to boycott just for that. But it don't take. It's not up to Monique discretion for her like her voice got merit just because she calling for a boycott. People ask for a boycott every damn day. Go to the Bro Tips or No Tips web series. They tell you to boycott Black Panther. They tell you to boycott this. They tell you to boycott every fucking thing in the world. Y'all not going to do it because nobody. Gotta be honest. Nobody is in that mind frame. We're not in that collective thinking.
Right. I said this before. I do feel like the term boycott is overused because I feel like that's one of the reasons why no one is going to boycott. I terminated my Netflix account because, sidebar, I just feel like I never watched Netflix anyway. I've watched it like a handful of times. So I kind of don't need Netflix. They was kind of getting my $10 a month and I wasn't using it anyway. Because I be working, I be doing podcasts, I be vlogging, I be singing. I don't watch shit like that. So I don't need Netflix. But because we use the term boycott so often, it's losing its power. So now when people hear boycott, they don't really flinch. They're just like, oh, okay. It's like they already know they're not gonna boycott. And then when you tell them to boycott, you give them a reason to boycott, they still ain't gonna boycott. It's like you almost gotta sell boycotting to people. Like I said, I don't know if I said it on this podcast or on my YouTube channel, we should have like a boycott council filled with like maybe 4 or 5 leaders from the Black community from each segment, from Farrakhan to like, I don't know, maybe someone in entertainment who's really big, to maybe someone in sports, to maybe like people covering selling education like Cornel West, like people kind of covering each segment and they can like vote on the boycott. And then if they tell you to boycott, it'll have a much stronger effect because it's like the leaders of the Black community are telling you to boycott. That'll be a whole nother.
I don't think that really will work.
I think it'll work more than just her saying it. Because if Farrakhan say do something,
more than just anybody would just say it.
Right.
But I think that won't really work because when try to do a grassroots movement or get the people rally up from a grassroots point to feel the outrage enough to be like, I can do without this. You know what I'm saying? Because basically when you're boycotting a certain company or service, you're displeased with that service, but you go to that service all the time, right? Mm-hmm. It's a usual casual service. You get the great try. If you can't do it from grassroots, if people are not upset with it, just it's not going to work.
I think it can work because I feel like people who have influence can pretty much make the people who follow them do some of anything.
True.
They can sell them a shirt that says "kill me" on it. Like they literally can make people do anything. Like if Beyonce said to boycott Netflix, you don't think some people will boycott?
Yeah, they'll boycott like crazy.
Not everybody probably.
And that's another thing. Do you think the reason why Monique is getting so much backlash about this whole damn boycott shit is because she's a big Black woman? She said that on here, on the interview.
I think I think that had something to do with what they offer her. I think when she was saying big black woman, I think she was saying that because people equate big black woman to being difficult. I think that's what she was saying.
Yeah, that's exactly what she was saying.
Yeah.
That's exactly what she was saying.
And I mean, black women, y'all know, y'all get called difficult all the time. I've been in the service industry, and when we see black women, we automatically think difficult. So black women do have a stigma of being difficult. And there's been plenty of times where you go and you think somebody's going to be so difficult, and they're not. You know what I'm saying? So the stereotype of the difficult black woman that's a real life stereotype. Like, that's some shit we all know.
Right.
And really and truly, hell, sometimes you got to be difficult. Sometimes you got to be, because motherfuckers are trying to run over you. So yeah,
true. I mean, facts on that.
Like, people will take straight advantage of you if you're not difficult. Being difficult probably got her career.
Right. If you look at Chadwick, I'm listening to Chadwick Boseman during his interview, right? And he literally said, there's a power in saying no.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? There's a lot of power in saying no. But when you say no, that way you can monitor, your focus. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And with Monique saying no, I'm not accepting. And he not only said, saying no to value your focus, it gets you more focused. He said also, saying the power is in saying no, because he said that's the greatest thing that he learned over his lifetime. And the power of saying no is also enriches your value in self. You end up knowing your worth. You knowing what you want to go for, what your focus is going to get. You know what I'm saying? And you don't have to accept anything. You know what I'm saying? So it's power in saying no.
You take your power back. You take your posture back. It's like you utilize something that you have. I think we forget that we have the tool or the right to say no. And when people say no, it's like, uproar. But it's like, no, we all can say no. We ain't got to agree with anything. We ain't got to go along with everything. We all can say no.
Right. I mean, that's the thing, man. And this is another thing. When I watched the interview, Italy kept on bringing up Will Packer's situation, her being difficult, this and that, and they addressed it. And she broke down but they're not telling the full story. I'm speaking out. I'm quote unquote being difficult to try to empower other people.
Right. And then it's like, it's three sides to every story. It's both sides and the truth. That's first of all. Second of all, You know how many people are real life difficult and still get paid and don't have no type of stigma or nothing on their damn back, and they're really difficult? And they're some of the top actresses and producers and directors and artists on this planet, and they're difficult, and they're still difficult, and they're paid.
And they getting paid for it.
I don't think nothing wrong with being difficult. I mean, as long as you ain't like disturbing, because I feel like everybody's difficult. Whether they're what classified difficult? You know what I'm saying? I guess hard to work with.
I'm talking back to you. That's difficult.
Right.
Like, that's not difficult. That's me being like, no. You know what I mean? Like, no, don't agree with what you're talking about, what we're doing right here. Let's flip it this way.
Like, I wasn't on the set with her, so I can't really say what happened. But to me, I know I know Monique is not the only quote unquote difficult person in Hollywood, and I know there are people who make way more than her are just as, if not more, quote unquote difficult.
Let's be clear. This whole situation is going on with Monique. Why is she being blackballed? Why they putting her out there as being difficult? It's because she said what she said a while ago when she checked Oprah Winfrey, Lee Daniels, Tyler Perry, all on that damn stand-up one time. She pretty much cussed them the heck out. You know what I'm saying?
Well, they said she was supposed to go and do press for Precious, and she didn't want to do it. And so that's one of the reasons they're calling her difficult.
And she just did this Christmas with Will Packer. He called her difficult. You know, it's a situation where you can't say that she ain't blackballed.
Right.
You know, she is blackballed. You know what I'm saying? So, and I get what they're trying to say. Like, you're being blackballed, well, you got to come sometimes humble yourself and build yourself back up so you can get back and get your just due. I get that. I get it. But you still should be silent about being blackballed. So you should be still signing about them lowballing your damn pay.
Right, and then
like I need to go out here and do what the fuck I'm doing. And who's saying I'm not?
And like, when is somebody gonna stand up? You know what I'm saying? Like,
right, man. This is the thing, man. When you get into entertainment, and this is what I hope that, cause or either one of us get to the point where we're too comfortable. You know what I'm saying? When you get to a place where you're so comfortable in your position, you won't be able to identify what the hell Monique talking about.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I think that's where Charlamagne, Angelique Yee, and Envy is coming from. A lot of people coming from. And not only that, they coming off of, a lot of people just love to ride Oprah Winfrey titty.
That, and people keep saying, like, start your own thing. Like, even if she was to start her own thing, she still should be vocal about what's going on, because it's such a huge issue in not just the entertainment industry, but all industries.
Yeah. I want to see, this is what I want to see. Man, I know it's going to happen. 5 years from now, maybe 10 years from now. You're going to have black women, people coming after the Will Packers, the Tyler Perrys, these big progenitors who are quote unquote the gatekeepers of entertainment for Black Hollywood. You know what I mean? People are going to come out and talking about their experiences, and it's going to sound very similar and very reminiscent of what Monique said.
Mm-hmm. People are already coming out on Tyler Perry.
Exactly. But then you got people who will, constantly speak up for the Tyler Perrys and the Oprahs, but they don't even fucking know them.
Right.
You don't know them. When the last time you worked with them every single day, did a 6-month project with them every single day?
Right.
To be like, well, these people are stand-up people. Why would such and such come after these persons? Because on paper they seem stand up. But behind closed doors, they on some shady stuff.
Right. And my thing is, even if she is difficult, she still shouldn't have got offered no $500,000. That still was a shitty contract.
It still was a shitty contract. At the end of the day, it was a shitty contract. I think, that Monique deserved more than that. You know what I'm saying? Just based off her resume. They kept on going back and forth with her resume. And they were like, well, you need to sell out arenas. You need to do this. You need to sell out arenas. You need to do that. Monique do a damn comedy special on Netflix. You garner them a lot of attention just based off this whole hoopla right now.
And I think what the issue was, I think they thought, or Charlamagne might have thought, that Monique was trying to get exactly what, Dave Chappelle or whoever was getting. And I think she was more so saying, when she said the legends are getting this, and they say I'm a legend, and why am I not getting what the legends are getting? I think it was more so, why am I getting like 1/26th of what Amy Schumer is getting? Why am I getting like, I don't know what
Amy Schumer not a fucking legend, let's be clear.
Why am I getting, I don't know what the fraction would be, but just because I don't know, I guess like 1/40th of what Dave Chappelle is getting, or Chris Rock. And my thing is, I agree on not all legends are paid the same, because they're not. Now that's just, I agree with that. Just because y'all both legends don't mean y'all need to get the same thing. But you're not going to insult me and pay me, chump change, pay me like some shit y'all can write off on y'all damn taxes either. If you ain't call me a legend at the same time.
Exactly.
Right.
They treat Monique as if they doing her charity work by offering her in-damn thing. That's how they go about doing that. And the reason being is because she's being blackballed. The reason being is because she's being told that she's hard to be dealt with, work with, or this and that and the other. And that's why a lot of these companies are doing this to Monique. And I'm pretty sure it's happening to a lot of actors and actresses that used to be popping back in the day, but now they ain't popping right now. Right. You know what I'm saying? Or musical acts, or the groups. You know what I'm saying? That probably happen all the time. Even probably people who are on a job, they can't stand their job. They ain't taking no bullshit from the job. Right. They finally let go of the job and try to get, using the skills that they got from the job, looking for some other work, and they can't find work any damn where. Because the job put a stigma on them. They going around telling people, well, they
right.
this.
And I've seen that a million times. I've seen a person just stand up. I've seen a person just stand up for what they believe in and get called difficult. Like, because I'm not that person. I'm not a person who well, I may be now, but, as growing up, I wasn't outspoken like that. But I've seen people be outspoken and on some real shit too, not just like yelling just to hear themselves talk, but really be talking about some real shit and be called difficult and be like fired. They start trying to figure out a way to get them out of the job because they see that they are basically whistleblowers and they could be trouble. So I've seen that a million times. I've seen that over and over again.
That what happened to me a lot with my past 2 big jobs that I had for a minute. When I was living in Atlanta. I classified somewhat, even though I was going through my issues, you know what I'm saying? But I got tired of the bullshit. I tried to call them out on it. You know what I'm saying? And ever since I did that, I couldn't find work for nothing. Cause once they let me go, I couldn't find nothing. Mm-hmm. Nothing in Atlanta. I ended up having to move down here to Savannah. You know what I'm saying? This happened to everyday folks all the fucking time. Being blackballed and cannot find work. You know what I'm saying? And you can't understand, I had to humble myself to take a big pay cut to go work at a store in retail. You know what I'm saying? From what I was making in Atlanta. You know what I'm saying? She probably should be humble herself and just take what she can get, but don't be like, yo, I know my damn worth and I'm not worth no goddamn $500,000 and I don't have to accept that.
But why? But my thing is, why we gotta always humble ourselves? Why? Somebody gotta, and that's why I applaud her. Like, even if I didn't agree with her, I applaud her for standing up. I applaud her courage. I applaud her boldness. I applaud her fierceness. For can somebody stand up? Damn. Like, what happened to our people? How did we become so complacent and passive? Like, geez, I guess maybe we always been this way and I didn't know. But I don't know. It's like, where has our spirit gone?
We always been this way. I think we just got conditioned to think this way.
Right.
We got conditioned to believe that the grass is green right now and the grass is still fucking dirty. You know what I'm saying? There's still a lot of fucking weeds in that grass. You know what I mean? We just been bamboozled consistently over the decades and centuries, for 400 years, 450 years. You know what I'm saying? We gotten to the place where people are incontent with their condition. You know what I'm saying? We're in a place where people are just kind of like, it is what the fuck it is.
Right.
I say that word. I use that word myself. I really don't like that saying. It is what it is. But that ain't what the fuck it's supposed to be. And you can't tell me I'm supposed to sit back and out of the body and let that be what it's supposed to be without speaking out against it. You know what I mean? Like,
especially if I'm in your world, meaning if I'm like in entertainment with you, and I've seen what happens. I've heard the stories. Like, I've witnessed stuff. I've been a part of people, being affected by pay disparity, and to still be, I just felt like it was really insensitive.
It is, man. It really is. And it's like, man, this whole interview was a disappointment. It's not really a disappointment to this Breakfast Club. We know what we get from them. You know what I mean? But at the same time, I think Charlamagne need to change his name to Leonard. Because he ain't a god. You know what I mean? Because you're not speaking that God body stuff. You're not speaking up for your sisters.
Right. And
then he'll come back, well, because I ain't speaking out for Monique, I speak out for black women all the time. I know that. But then here you go talking about pay disparities. Now, let Tiffany Haddish get caught up in the same situation somewhere else down the line. Probably not on Netflix, probably not HBO. But let Tiffany Haddish hot streak cools down for like the next 2 years, right? Or Cardi B, they cools down. Then people realize, and people go back and say, well, she's difficult, she's too bold, she does this, she did that. Are you going to have that same kind of energy you have against Monique?
Right. Exactly.
And if you do, then you're not a progenitor of the culture. You're not upholding the culture, or you're not even speaking to the culture or for the culture. You are speaking toward Netflix and for these corporations.
Like
that's what y'all sound like to me when y'all was on the Breakfast Club. They were speaking for corporations.
I don't know.
They was not speaking from the perspective of the people.
Right. I just feel like, I don't know, Charlamagne sinking deep in that coon chair. He ain't the Amara La Negra. He was acting like he knew what was colorism. Now he acting like he don't know what pay disparity is, or he acting like she doesn't have a good stance where she's coming from. He's acting like he can't really understand. He kept acting as if he was having a hard time getting where she was coming from. And
how the hell you call yourself a cyber center? And you so damn aloof to all these damn things. How can you label yourself to be for the culture? You know what I'm saying? Like, you got your top urban radio. You ask the barbershop question to these people to get the real answer, to get the real things. But you're aloof to every fucking thing. I don't know. Like, how you don't know nothing? I don't get that.
Like I always say, when we read the Damon Young articles, when we read anything, the bar for black media is on the floor.
Yes, it is.
On the floor.
It is. And
to Monique, I'll tell you one thing. All this talk about this little tour you doing, it's gonna help you. You about to sell out them clubs.
Yeah, I'll tell you that. Yeah, you gonna sell the hell out of them clubs.
Yeah, you might be able to sell out Madison Square Garden pretty quick. Shit.
I really think she could now. You know what I'm saying? Because people gonna be like, "Oh, what you gonna say? What you gonna do? What you gonna say?"
Now everybody waiting to hear what she got to say. She upped her stock. That's probably why she keep doing these damn interviews. I ain't mad.
I ain't mad at her at all. Get your hustle on, Monique. Get your hustle on. But y'all let us know what y'all think in the comment section. You know what I'm saying? Let's have a build on this, man. And also hit that like button, hit that bell, so y'all know when we dropping some new content for you guys.
Right, and make sure y'all like, share, comment, subscribe, all of that.
Yeah, don't be stingy, man. Show it to your mama and your cousin too. You know what I'm saying? This is the Mother's House Podcast. We out here. And until next time, peace, love, and light to the family. Bye, my loves.
I will not raise my daughter differently than my mother raised me. The rearing I got from my mother, words cannot express. I could live in any time, I could live in any country, I could live on any planet, and I would be fine.
What was the key? What did your mother know? What truth was coming through your mother that's going to come through you to your daughter?
My mother gave us aphorisms to learn as children. And the one that there are two that stand out foremost in my mind. One is, the inner reality creates the outer form. I learned this when I was in grade school. I was very young. And the other is, the universe bears no ill to me. I bear no ill to it.